My name is Nick True. I'm a budget coach. I've done over 6,000 hours of one-on-one coaching. This is my lovely wife and video editor,
Who
Hanna.
has not done 6,000 hours of budget coaching.
But you have talked about it to me, and more importantly, I've picked out some TikToks that we're
some deep thoughts on.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You guys might have seen this too, where there's a lot of like millennials and Gen Z that are actually spending their money now and not really saving as much as maybe our, parents did.
Yeah.
And it comes down to they're like, yeah, I want to travel the world now when I'm young and able to just like do all the things versus when I'm old
And
I
have
don't
like a
have
double
any
hip
energy.
replacement.
I'm wearing a diaper.
Can't walk around all day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like when I went to Ireland for the first time, I went to the Blarney Stone, walked up the little castle thing, which is very, very tiny, narrow stairs. And there was an older couple there. But one of them had like a knee replacement and couldn't do the stairs, so she couldn't go up. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, this is why we need to travel. Like I'm young, just why I just freaking do it.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts.
Okay, tell me what your thoughts are. I'm curious to see if your thoughts are...
Okay, so my first thought is the health thing is a bit ridiculous. I understand the idea of like there are certain things that you can do in your 20s that you can't do in your 80s.
Well, and none of us are guaranteed tomorrow, so...
For sure. However, when you and I did the Grand Canyon in our 20s, we hiked down to the bottom, slept at the bottom, hiked back out the next day, and we passed a 75-year-old lady coming out of the Grand Canyon who did down and back in one day.
So you're getting at what my first thought with this was. So, Sean Puri and the whole like learning the right lesson from things. This made me think of that.
This is learning the wrong lesson.
Yes.
I agree completely.
So I feel like you need to tell that story so that makes sense.
Yeah, so the big idea is like Sean Puri, podcast host of My First Million, was at a dinner with a group of founders, and one guy was talking about how he had this really bad thing happen, blah, 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 with his company. It didn't work out. And he kind of concluded his story with, and that's how I learned blah. And Sean is like sitting back going,
I'm not sure that's the right lesson.
huh. I'm not sure that's the right takeaway from that.
So when I'm listening to these girls talk and they're like, so I should just spend all my money now on travel. I'm like, or
you should take care of yourself.
Yes. And you should try to be really fit. And I know there are some things that are out of our control. We're not ignoring those. And also, you don't have to age like everybody else in our society tends to age. And there are lots of things that you can do to change that trajectory.
Okay, so here's the second thing I have to say.
Okay.
Whenever I hear this type of thing, which I do hear a lot, what that tells me is that they have not been exposed to people who did do that kind of stuff in their 20s and 30s and then get to 55, 65, 75, 85 and can't retire or can't even pay for their living costs or become a burden to their kids or have to move in and take on a roommate at 80 because they literally can't afford to. Like a not insignificant amount of people that I have worked with come to me on the cusp of retirement freaking out because they're not prepared and they really need to retire because of their work or physical or whatever. And they don't have enough saved, and Social Security is not enough to hack it for them, and they're freaked out. And those people, I guarantee you, because I hear it, they would say, I wish I wouldn't have spent so much in my younger years. I wish I would have saved more because now I deeply regret it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk like an old lady here, and I'm just going to say, like, we're not entitled to get to travel.
That's true.
And travel is not required for...
a like good life.
Yeah. And so I just think like if travel is coming at the expense of healthy financial stewardship for you, it's not worth it.
Not worth it.
So don't let social media convince you otherwise.
I think my last thought on this travel thing, kind of along the lines of what you're saying, is I think a good question to ask yourself is if you feel the urge to travel, I want you to ask, if I were going to spend the money on this trip, but I wasn't allowed to take any pictures for social media. I could take pictures, but only for myself. And I wasn't allowed to talk about it to anybody else. So I can talk about it to the people who are on the trip with me. But other than that, I don't get to talk about it to friends at work. I don't get to talk about it to colleagues. I don't get to post it on social media. I don't get to expose anyone to my cool trip.
That's a good filter.
Would you still pay the money for that trip?
Yeah.
And be honest with yourself, because I think that, yes, there are some people who truly do love it for the travel, but I think unfortunately a lot of travel these days is out of envy because somebody else is posting about their trip on social media. And now I want to go too so that then I can post about it and get people to think cool of me because of the place I went.
Yes. Okay. And last thing, because you have people say this to you a lot of like, I'm looking around and all these other people are traveling. How are they doing that? And it's like debt. Debt.
That's how they're doing
like
it.
if you're if you're trying to be wise with your money and you're having to make trade-offs, and those trade-offs include not traveling, and you're looking around going, what the heck? Everybody else is getting to do what they want. It's like, not forever. That will not last. And, the whole Dave Ramsey thing, live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. And I would just add on to that to just holistically do that. So include like a healthy diet and exercise and mental exercise, all of that stuff, so that you're not older and completely unable to do anything.
Love it.
All right, in your 20s, should you save your money or should you go and spend it on new experiences? This is my take on it. All right, so I'm pretty fortunate and have been fortunate at 20 years old where I've got some money set aside, but I've also had a lot of experiences on the way. What I think you should do is always put a little bit of money to the side.
I just can't take this guy
why is
seriously.
his shirt
Why
off?
is his shirt off? Are we talking about fitness? What are we talking about here?
I don't know. I think we could go a whole new direction, and you could just have
I
your
just
shirt
start
on
doing
for all financial
shirtless,
content.
pale, hairy financial advice calls.
I think people would really show up for that.
Okay, what's he saying?
Whether it's just 10, 20, 30%, whatever you want to take of your monthly income and have it there because that's the right thing and a smart thing to do. But I'm not saying you've got to be saving all of your money or as much as you can. You still need to go out there and you need to have experiences because your time is going quickly. And I know this because my 21st is rolling around as quick as my 20th came around the first time. And I think if you're not spending that time while you're young doing it, then what's the point in doing it when you're 40? But what I think the best thing and the ultimatum, and this is exactly what I did, how I've been able to experience best of both worlds, is take that money, then rather than saving it, invest it back into yourself. Learn new skills, start new business, get in better shape, make yourself better looking, whatever it may be that you need to do it that way. And that's going to have the best return on that investment and allow you to do both of those simultaneously, side by side.
I just loved, I picked this video solely because the old age that he chose was 40.
Is 40, yeah.
It's like, why bother? If
You're basically dead at that point.
Just give up.
As someone who turns, what do I turn, 33 in a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 33, I definitely felt like 33 was older when I was 20, but I feel far from decrepit.
Well, I don't think we're not going to throw in the towel anytime soon.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to say about this one. Alex Hermosi has this great bit that I love where he says, you can either have a live 'em up 20s or a work 'em up 20s, is how he phrases it. And so you can spend your 20s, because 20s, generally speaking, is when like most people are not married, most people don't have kids, you have very little responsibilities outside of yourself. And so you have, and you have more energy. And so you have the opportunity to have a ton of life experiences, or you have an opportunity to lay a really strong foundation in your career, in your, health and fitness life, but, specifically financially to set yourself up to be able to make a lot more money down the road or have your investments be working towards you. And you have to make a choice, and they come with trade-offs. And so legitimately, there's a lot of things that we missed out on in our 20s compared to friends, people from school, people we know. However, we are also now able to do things in our 30s because of the way that we spent our 20s that people that have maybe a lot more experiences from their 20s can't do.
Yeah.
And, if you want to live it up your 20s, that's cool. Just understand that I think it's very hard to accurately perceive what you're going to feel like when you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and whether or not you're going to be actually happy that you made that trade-off.
Yeah, I would say too, like asking yourself, okay, is this, the example that keeps coming up is travel.
Totally.
So is this travel that I do like as a single person? If I do that, and then let's say that I meet somebody, I get married, we're having a family, and I have less flexibility in the things that I can choose to do there because of the choices that I made in my 20s to like travel as a single person. Is that really going to be worth it to me? And I mean, I would argue, I mean, you could choose your values, but certainly not for
most
me.
people would say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know just a lot of people from our life that, chose to do like travel abroad or study abroad things and went into debt for those things. And it has had a long-term impact on what they're able to do in their 30s, like you said. And I think most of them wouldn't make the trade if they had really consciously thought about it.
Yep, I agree. All right, let's hope this next person has a shirt on.
On a serious note, it's hard to find these TikToks with girls that are not totally scantily clad, people that aren't just cussing every other word. And I mean, I was like, this is challenging.
Yeah, you have a hard job.
Yeah,
I'm glad I don't have to do it. Okay, can we just say before we even get into this, this woman says she's trying to save money and she's like clearly not doing things. And they have this humongous TV on the wall and like are clearly in a nice home. I'm like, I would not say that this is saving money. Okay, we'll keep going. So many things to say.
What's your first?
Okay, so first is what I don't like about this is that it's sort of idolizing this idea of shopping is the thing, not the thing that you're buying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the emphasis is on the dopamine hit, the hobby of shopping, rather than being able to get something that you really wanted, that you've been pining for. And when you make the thing that you want the activity of shopping, oh man, you're creating an addiction that is just very difficult to stop.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to go with another Hermosi quote, his definition of patience.
Oh yeah.
And he says like patience is figuring out what you're going to do in the meantime.
That's good.
And so to your point, like looking at this house that she's in, I think if you are in this position and you're like, oh, I'm trying so hard to save money, a great way to do that is to go, okay, well, in the meantime, before I have the money to do this thing that I'm wanting to do or whatever, I'm going to make my goal to enjoy all this stuff that I already have and like be really grateful for what's already here. And I think that's a great, like, in the meantime,
I like that
mindset.
Yeah. I do want to go shopping, but in the meantime, we'll do this instead.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
For me, a new season always means I get a severe case of the shoppies, so I'm going to run through everything I want to buy right now to show you guys instead of actually buying it, because that's probably the more financially responsible choice. So
okay, you can stop this one. We don't even have to watch the whole thing. I literally just saved it because this totally works, you guys. I do this with Nick.
She does.
So if there is something that I am wanting to buy, and a lot of times it's like, oh, there will be something that's like been on my list, and then they send a 15% off coupon or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, I want to buy that so bad, but like I don't have the money to buy it. And so 15% off is still money that I don't have to go buy it. And so I'll tell Nick, I'll be like, I got this coupon for this thing that I've been wanting to buy and I didn't buy it. And are you so proud? Like
15% off of anything is still more than zero.
It's true.
No,
Props
I like
to this girl.
No, I like it. I actually dig it. I like the idea of like, counting your wins for things you didn't buy.
I think it really does help. And then like sometimes, so there have been a few times I've had to go in like Target for groceries, and I'll come out and be like, are you so proud? I just went in Target and I didn't look at anything other than groceries. I beeline for the groceries. I got
That's
what was
impressive.
on our list and I came back out.
Especially because I don't know about your Target, but the Targets we always go into, the doors are on the opposite side of the building from the groceries, which is, on purpose.
Yeah, for sure. So that's the kind of lady you got, though.
That's it. I just do the exact same thing, but it's all about what I didn't eat. So I
He does.
I give Hannah a list of
all I've had to eat today.
I've had to eat today and how hungry I am. All right, what do we got next?
to de-influence me. I have a huge to buy list on my notes on my phone, and it's massive, and I really want to know if you guys have any of these things, and if you do, are they worth it or are they not worth it? So I'll put up a little picture here of like each item. The first item is this very specific Scandi
I don't think we have to
ring.
watch
I
all
have
of
loved this
either.
ring.
Again, I like the intentionality here. I thought, I'm impressed. She's got like notes on her phone. She's keeping notes on what she wants to buy. She's not just going to buy it immediately. And she's going like, hey, does anybody have these things? And are they worth it? Have you enjoyed your
like
thing?
that.
Did it? I know.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good.
I do think the other nice thing about this is it sort of forces a waiting period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but there's a lot of times where I'll put something on my buy list, or I'll, kind of wait on it and go back to it a week or 2 or 3 later. And I realize I actually don't want that. It's
totally.
actually not worth it to me, or it's not that interesting anymore. And I think having that waiting period is a huge way to just
I think it's really helpful to you. The other thing I liked about this one is just that it calls out the influencer piece of things, because I've gotten myself off social media, except for this TikTok account that Nick has set up for me to source things for us to do this with. And man, it's just everywhere. Like, it's really crazy.
Well, Charlie Munger has this great quote. He says that a lot of people think that greed runs the world, and that's what drives economies and drives shopping and drives businesses and growth and all this stuff. And he says in his 90 years of life and all his business acumen, he has learned that he believes it's envy that drives the world. And I have to agree with him, because the more budgets I review, the more I talk to people, and this is not even like hating on what people are buying, but the more that I dig and I ask, why do you want that? What's driving you? The more you start to pull these threads, and the more you realize it's just envy. It's just seeing something that somebody else has and then wanting it for yourself. And what's so, terrible about the influencer piece of the puzzle is that the overwhelming majority of the time, these influencers aren't even paying for the thing themselves. And so they're getting it, gifted to them, or they're getting it for free, or, a steep discount. And I know that they can say, I'm not biased. I truly love this product. And I'm not even saying that they don't believe that, but human psychology is such that it's just very hard to give a accurate, sort of unbiased thing.
So we ran
when you
into
get it for free.
When we were in the main part of furnishing our house.
Yeah.
I was looking at different people's stuff for inspiration, and there were several people that were like, "Oh, these bed sheets, you have to have these bed sheets, blah blah blah," whatever. And so I would go look at them, and it would be like $500 for bed sheets.
For a set of bed sheets. Yeah.
And I'd be like, are these people really, or is that really a high enough priority? Like, when you're furnishing a house, that you're going to go spend $500 on just the sheets on your bed that nobody else is going to see, basically. And that's the kind of stuff you start thinking well, these are the best sheets and everybody has sheets like this and, whatever. And it's no, they don't. Don't let the internet
they got
convince
those
you of that.
gifted to them, and they're like, these are amazing sheets. And it's like, well, yeah, they're amazing.
Or it's everybody talks about influencers buying stuff to convince you to buy it, and then they go return it.
Yeah.
That's the other big thing that I've seen on TikTok. All right, that's what we've got this time. If you find any TikToks that you'd like us to react to, please send them our way so that I don't have to spend more time on TikTok.
Nick@map.money.com.
See you in the next video.